morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. This is just going to be a relaxed sort of 25-minute session. So Filipe from Bruno Law Firm in Lisbon. Filipe's going to give a bit of background on why Golden Visa, why Portugal, why Golden Visa, why invest 500,000 euros into a fund or funds, what do you get for this, what does it mean potentially for yourself, your family, for EU residency, because there's a much bigger picture to the Portugal Golden Visa than just Portugal. Portugal is a wonderful country. I go there all the time, but there's a much bigger picture to the whole Golden Visa aspect. And whether you're an advisor, whether you have clients that might be interested in this, whether you personally are watching and may be interested, please listen for the next 20 minutes or so, because I'm sure you'll get something out of it. From my side, I represent the New Frontiers Fund. We're a leading private equity fund in Lisbon, and we qualify investors for the Golden Visa. So effectively, if you like what Filipe is saying, we are one of the options to take you on your golden, your Golden Visa journey. And we would ask you to consider us. And I'll talk you through the main aspects of New Frontiers. But at the moment, just to start with, the most important part of this is why Portugal, why Golden Visa. Filipe, I'll let you take the lead.
Thank you so much, David, and pleasure to be here today. I've been working with the Golden Visa right since the beginning of the program back in 2012. And motivations about the program have been maintained pretty much the same throughout the years for all my clients. So I have onboarded quite a few extensive number of clients, my very dear clients coming from all over the world. And motivations, as I was saying, are pretty much the same throughout the years, meaning that I always start these webinars and these presentations by saying that the Golden Visa program actually did a great job in attracting investment into Portugal. I used to reach abroad in many countries and say where I was from, and Portugal was pretty much unknown, and I think the Golden Visa did an amazing job in putting Portugal in the top priorities of citizen and residency by investment program a little bit throughout the world. So the program grants first and foremost, of course, access to Portuguese residency, and with it freedom of access to the Schengen territory, meaning that you arrive anywhere in the Schengen with your residency card, your Golden Visa card, and you are allowed in, and no need for specific visas before you come, regardless of the passport you hold. And that pretty much right there is one of the main attractions of the program, the flexibility to enter the Schengen. Then in terms of residency, of course, you are able to maintain yourself and to be in Portugal as long as you like. In the other Schengen territories, you will still abide to the 90-day rule, which is 90 days in each period of 180 days. So a lot of clients, of course, are keen on taking this advantage, of course, but Portugal is also a destination for you. Once you complete your residency years, apply for citizenship. So citizenship is, of course, a very good motivator in terms of accessing the Golden Visa program. Bearing in mind that in order to renew your Golden Visa every 2 years, you only need to demonstrate that you've been in Portugal in the previous years before renewal, at least an average of 7 days a year. What the law says specifically is that you need to stay here 14 days in each period of 2 years, which you can divide as freely as you like. So spend 2 days in 1 year and 12 days in the other. It's pretty much up to the investor. In terms of motivations from our clients, what we notice is, on top of that a lot of them aiming for residency and citizenship afterwards are looking eventually to pass along, even if you don't have the immediate necessity of becoming Portuguese, the idea of passing along the citizenship to your children, and from your children to your grandchildren. It's also, in a very troubled world we live in, a very good motivator for people to take the program and become Golden Visa card holders and in the future citizens. So the main advantages, I would say, the program in itself is, and the legislation that we have right now, is the most attractive one in terms of passing from residency to citizenship, and citizenship with what is a very powerful passport then in terms of freedom of movement throughout the world. As a Portuguese, I can travel pretty much wherever I want without applying for a visa in advance. And on top of it, I can relocate to any of the EU territories, meaning that if I'm tomorrow going to be living and working in Paris, for me, it's just a matter of doing a small registration at the municipality, and right there, I'm able to freely reside and have my normal living in a foreign country, which is part of the European Union, and therefore a place I can freely access with my Portuguese passport. So
that's great. And Filipe, no, I was just going to ask as well. I'll interview you for a second. I saw something about, again, the vehicle is the Golden Visa, but that multiple members of the family, so kids can get involved. There can be grandparents involved. So for one 500,000 investment, can you just tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the program in itself only requires one main applicant to do the initial investment. As you correctly said in the beginning of our webinar, what you require is to invest €500,000. There are other options, but right now, after they've taken out the real estate option of the equation at the end of 2023, right now the trend is fund investment. So with just one investment made by one main applicant, and there's a lot of decisions sometimes whether there's the one of the spouses that does it, or if the spouses are already over 65, if one of the children should do it. So we assist a lot the clients in taking the decision on who's going to be the main applicant. But from one family member, we can then expand the ability to reach out to the Golden Visa and to later on to citizenship to the family members, meaning spouse, children, and parents of the applicants, meaning that if they are over 65, we have a possibility to apply to their residency as well. And the flexibility of the program in that sense is huge, meaning that ultimately it makes a difference to the immediate family members of the main applicant.
So as a British citizen, so effectively you could have the main applicants ultimately living in the Algarve. You could have the children being educated in Paris. You could have the grandparents retiring to Spain. All exactly. The Golden Visa. Is that the case?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's one big ability that the program brings to the applicants. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I think that's very important. I think what we're trying to get across here to everybody watching is that the Golden Visa in Portugal is not just a funneled down one-dimensional opportunity. It is a multi-generational opportunity regarding all of the EU, regarding all
I must say, David, that after Brexit, we had immediately after a lot of British clients reaching out to us and engaging with the Golden Visa program, because it goes beyond the ability of accessing the Schengen. Of course, the British passport holder can come and then come back and spend the minimum 90 days here. That's fine, but it goes beyond that. It goes to the ability of actually relocating in the future to neighbor countries such as France. So that flexibility that existed in the past before Brexit was terminated in that moment. So there was a lot of a sense of loss of some freedom that the Golden Visa was able to cope with and to somehow fix. Yeah.
I understand. So I'm sold. Okay, I'm sold on this. What are the next steps? I call up Ana Bruno. What do you need from me? What do I need to do?
So it's an easygoing process in terms of bureaucracy. We have other immigration programs that are more complex than this one. But immediately what we normally ask the client for is a passport copy and a recent utility bill. With that, immediately what we do is apply for a tax ID number, which is a non-resident tax ID, so no tax implication applications, no need to report anything to the Portuguese tax authorities, and you'll get a sequence of 9 numbers, which is your local tax ID. With that, and some documents proving source of funds and what you do for a living, we apply then for a bank account opening, which can be opened 100% remotely. Okay, so there's no need to travel to Portugal in order to get this account opened. And this account will then function as the place where you'll transfer the money in order to do the investment in an eligible investment for the Golden Visa program. So in a nutshell, this is basic first steps. Then when we apply for the main applicant, what we need to add to this list of documents is criminal record with less than 90 days, which in the UK you get through ACRO. It's very, very convenient. And on top of that, for the main applicant, we are ready to supply. They will receive an email, a notification asking us to pay an analysis fees, and that's it. For family members, when it's a spouse, we need, of course, marriage certificate and criminal record. And for children, we need, of course, birth certificate. And if they're under 16, we don't even need criminal record. So we apply to the program. All the application of the main applicant and the family members are done online. So we don't need you to come here specifically for this, okay? You'll come later on in the application once we need to take you to the immigration authorities in order to collect your biometric data, which will be fingerprints, picture, and signature. And that's pretty much it. Okay.
Okay. No, that sounds excellent. Well, now I'll give my sales pitch for the New Frontiers Fund. So if you're following the process with Filipe, ultimately you are going to have to make a decision on how am I going to invest the 500,000 euros that has to be invested for. It's 5 years, Filipe, isn't it? It's 5 years. It can go 7 with a little bit of some delays sometimes, but you've got to invest into qualifying funds. Okay. Now the New Frontiers Fund is a qualifying fund. There were some changes to the rules of qualifying asset classes, and real estate was removed. But New Frontiers has no real estate exposure whatsoever. We are approved, as well as Ana Bruno. We are approved by lots of other Lisbon law firms. They've conducted their due diligence. They're very happy that New Frontiers fully approves. What do? We buy the private equities. We're a private equity fund, and we buy the shares of solar projects, importantly, that appear on the Acordo list of the government in Portugal. And that is good quality solar projects the government wants to drive monies into. We invest at a relatively early stage when the shares are good value. We work with government departments getting the various permits through. We effectively get those sites planning permission, and we sell those for a significant profit. We've got a great team. You can check out on our website, newfrontiersenergy.com. We've got a great origination team. We're under Fundbox, which is a very well-known fund house in Lisbon. We're one of their flagship Golden Visa funds. We've got a very strong track record. We are CMVM regulated. We've got good fee structures as well. So if you like what you're hearing about New Frontiers, reach out to David at New Frontiers Energy, and you can speak it also to Filipe, Eusébio, and Ana Bruno about your legal requirements. We hope you've enjoyed this. We'll get the web guys to pop our details at the bottom, and we hope you've found this of value. Thanks very much for watching.
Thank you. Bye-bye.